You're watching 2523 Candy Cane Lane, a festive Christmas playlist stroll. I chose this adorable cupcake project for my flashback video. Let's get into it. I absolutely love this project, and I think it deserves a second look. I sketched out my cupcake and bonbons, transferred it onto some pine wood, cut it out with my scroll saw. I painted the back black, as well as the stand, just so it was nice and tidy. I made these paper stencils so that I could trace all my bonbons. I wanted them to be the exact same size, so I'll do the right, then I'll flip it over, and I'll do the left side. Now I'm going to pencil in where the frosting will go, and I'm going to paint in the cupcake liner in ceramic coat charcoal. And as always, it gets 2 coats. I add this cute checkerboard stencil in ceramic coat Tropic Bay Blue. I'm just pantsing it on with a cosmetic sponge. And since I have the Tropic Bay Blue on the go, I'll paint in my middle bonbons as well. The cupcake frosting and the end bonbons are going to get 2 coats of ceramic coat white. Using a lid to trace some circles onto my bonbons. And I'm going to paint them in with ceramic coat watermelon. And we'll give the cherries 2 coats of watermelon as well. I cut 2 holly leaves from MDF, and they'll get 2 coats of ceramic coat apple green. I've got my trusty floating medium here, and I'm going to prep my brush with the medium. I'm going to side load with some Tropic Bay Blue. Stroke that on my plate to load the bristles. The paint will be darkest at the corner where the paint was loaded and fade as it moves toward the middle of the brush. With my paint side of the brush to the edge, I'm just going to float that color in there and make a little swirl to make the icing nice and fluffy. And I'm going to reload my brush whenever necessary. You can just think of it as kind of outlining where the whips and dips of the frosting will be. You all know that this is my favorite part, right? And don't be afraid to turn your project if necessary. Whatever makes it easier to handle, that's what you're going to do. We'll add a little fluffy crease here on this side and again on the other. And now let's float the white bonbons with the Tropic Bay as well. I float the holly leaves with Americana Irish moss. And I'm going to go right up the center to give it that wee crease. I'll float the right side of each of the wee blue boxes on the cupcake liner with Americana Teal Mint. There we go. I'm using Teal Mint to shade around the blue bonbon. And I'm also going to float around the outside of that red circle with the teal mint as well. The cherries and the red circles will get shaded with opaque red. That's a ceramic coat color. You know, I like to add a second color of shading, so I'm using Hippo Gray here, and I'm going to float alongside the Tropic Bay shading, not over it. I don't want to cover it, I want to enhance it. Everywhere that I already laid shading, I'm going to come back through with the Hippo Gray to add that little bit of outline and a little extra something something. You feel me? I'm keeping my strokes light and feathery and reloading my brush whenever needed. Speed painting. Would be great if I could actually paint that fast. I know the picture's a little weird, but this is because this is an old video, so the way I had to edit it, doesn't make things terribly easy. So here we're adding some white highlights to the cherries and to the blue bonbons. And the stamp, I'm going to load that with white paint and stamp it right in the middle of the blue bonbon. Right there on the red. And I'm going to come in and clean up that edge. There we go. Okay, here comes the sparkle. I'm going to use some Mod Podge and this beautiful peridot glitter to add some shimmer to these leaves. Love it. With the dale, I'm going to add some sweet wee dots with Mod Podge and this beautiful aqua glitter. Doesn't really look like aqua on camera, but it does in person. I think it adds a little extra Christmassy touch. I'll use some Tropic Bay paint to add a dot to the bonbon and then sprinkle that with the glitter, the aqua glitter. Really makes it stand out more, don't you think? Red dots on the cherries and in the middle of the swirls, and they'll get red glitter. And each of the blue checks will get a red glitter dot too. I'm going to use Snow Text to add a frosting to the top of my white bonbon. I'm just dabbing it on with an old paintbrush until I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to hit it with some glamour dust and some red and green caviar beads. Everything will get sprayed with clear matte sealer. I'm going to attach this clip light to the back of my cupcake to light up my cherry. I have this frosted red globe bulb that's going to serve as the cherry. Once I get the bulb in there, I'm going to line it up with the edge so that only the bulb is going to be visible from the front. And I'm going to check to make sure that my leaves will fit in here. I want to make sure that they're positioned just right. I'll make marks under the metal clip. This will be where I'm going to place my hooks that are going to hold the bulb in place. Drill pilot holes. And I'm going to screw in these L hooks. My clip plate slips right over my hooks. I'm going to trace out where I want my leaves to go. I've already drilled pilot holes, so now I'm going to screw the leaves in place. With my staple gun, I'm going to attach that cord down the back of my cupcake. and I'm cautious not to catch the cord with the staple. To attach the stand, I'm going to use a little bit of wood glue, and then I'm going to use 1-inch corner brackets to really secure it into place. I'm going to work out the holes on my corner brackets, then I'm going to drill some pilot holes. And I attach the brackets with 1/2-inch screws. As a final touch, I'll make these wee bows from scrap ribbon for the top of the white bonbon. I'll stack the ribbon, pinch it in the middle, and I'm going to take that pipe cleaner, wrap it around the center, and give it a twist. And I'll staple them right to the very top of the bonbon. I'll pull the pipe cleaner down in the back, give it a staple, and cut off the excess. We're done. I love the 50s retro feel of this piece, and I made 2, one for each of my front windows. So, Christmas time, they go on the very top sash. Love them. I hope you like them too. They are really a fun addition to my window display. You'll find links to Dawn and Annie's channels, as well as the playlist and supply lists in the description box. See? It lights up. I'm throwing it back to Dawn, out in the Midwest. She has a flashback project for you now too. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up All Night with Monica. You're watching 2523 Candy Cane Lane, a festive Christmas playlist stroll. Stay tuned. Dawn's up next.